Big Zay.
Morning, Brad.
Morning, boys. What's going on?
Oh, we're inching ever closer. And just want to get a gut feeling from you, having seen Jaylen Johnson back on the practice field. We know that the injury list, the report, will come out about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Just gut feeling. Does he give it a go? Does he try to start the game? Does he play the game? What is your take on his situation and where he's at?
Yeah, we're only out there for a very brief period of practice, and I would guess that he was limited yesterday because it was a long practice. They went for about 2 hours and 15 minutes yesterday in full pads. And considering all the time that he's missed, it's a little difficult to imagine he's a full participant in that. If I just had to blind guess, I would think that he plays some Monday night. I don't know that he'd be able to go a whole game, but that's just an absolute blind guess. And they certainly need to proceed with some caution because the worst case scenario would be something where he aggravates the injury, and then you're talking about more missed time. That's not something they can afford. There's really not a team out there that has the depth at cornerback to say, yeah, we're good without our clearly top guy on the field.
A couple other developments were interesting, one in a positive way, one maybe not. TJ Edwards missing, Jaquan Brisker back, Brad. I think the last we saw from Jaquan Brisker, he was walking off the field with a trainer, but that seems to be something that has passed. Any concerns there?
Well, with Brisker, I think there's a element of kind of hold your breath, considering that he's missed in the last 3 seasons. He's essentially missed a full season of football because of concussions. 3 concussions in 3 seasons have sidelined him for a total of 16 games. So you want to see him get on the field to begin the year and stay on the field. Edwards also is a guy who left practice early last week. He was not spotted yesterday. His availability, I no clue. Don't even know what the injury is at this point. We'll see what the team offers up on the estimation of an injury report later on today. I will say this about TJ Edwards. He's made 51 consecutive starts. The last game he missed was the 2021 season finale as a member of the Philadelphia Eagles, when the Eagles held out virtually all of their starters from that game. The last time TJ Edwards has missed a game by injury is back in the 2020 season when he had a hamstring that cost him 3 or 4 ball games for the Eagles. So he's a guy who knows how to take care of his body and prepare on a week-to-week basis, and we'll see if that will aid him toward being ready Monday night.
Brad, I'm sure you are aware that your guy Roger Goodell was on the Today Show yesterday, and he's pushing the new helmet, the double-up helmet, and he was talking about that with the fine folks on the Today Show. They got to the big story. They asked him if Taylor Swift was going to be doing the halftime show. So it was a really interesting interview. But I'm just curious. He said he couldn't talk about it. He said he talked to Jay-Z. Jay-Z is the guy booking the talent, apparently. So he would check in with Jay-Z on that question. He kind of dodged the issue. But as far
show sucked. I'll just say last year's Super Bowl show sucked.
Well, again, you are now. I can hear a lot of
reaction.
Things. I can hear a lot of things, but I don't think I can have you going after Jay-Z on this show. I mean, he's far too powerful.
I mean, he wasn't out there, was he?
But he's a
it was terrible.
Since like 2017, 19, 2020, he's been running the halftime show. He books the groups. It comes up with just so you know. Blame him.
Right.
But I'm curious, have you heard anything about Brisker in the helmet? If they're pushing this helmet, if he's had a history of the concussion.
Brisker wouldn't even wear the Guardian cap in training camp.
I know. Why? I don't get
defensive.
that. I don't understand it.
Like,
He's not committed to changing his style.
yeah, I don't.
But change your headgear.
Like Aaron Rodgers was upset about the helmet change too. I think because he had something that he had grown very accustomed to wearing. Yeah, listen. Brisker, considering the concussion history, a lot of people would probably say that you should do anything and everything you possibly can. I would guess there are personnel with the team that potentially recommended a Guardian cap to him, and but hey, that's a player's choice. It's like people you see zooming down the road on a motorcycle without a helmet. Your choice, dude.
I'm not laughing but you're right. He's an adult, and I think that's a story that bears following, certainly. Brad, I want to ask you about Ben Johnson yesterday. Coaches, new coaches especially, tend to shy away from expectations and numerical values, win totals, whatever. But when Ben Johnson says there's no reason why we can't win this year, what does that say to you? Does that mean that, okay, fine, this is the standard to which you will be held? This is the expectation level that everyone should have. If there is no reason why you can't win this year, you better win this year.
I think that you're going to get another 31 coaches in the league that are basically going to say the same thing at this time of year in week one. So I'm not ready to get tied in a knot over him saying that. He feels like they've got the talent to be competitive each and every week, and they've certainly got the talent to be a heck of a lot better than they were a year ago, especially if there's a degree to which they're coached in their preparation is at a higher level than it was a year ago, which I think is something pretty much everyone listening is counting on. But that's I don't know, man. I think everybody's going to say, yeah, we like who we've got to go to battle with. We feel good. You probably get that in Cleveland this week, Dave. So I'm not going to get too tied up in that.
I'm curious, Ben Johnson and his reputation as a play caller and everything that he's been able to do thus far in his career that has led him to the head coaching job. We talked to him a little bit, Brad, and asked him about what was the most difficult thing going from being an assistant, a play caller, but still a offensive coordinator, to being in the big chair. And he didn't seem to feel that anything was overwhelming or overpowering. I mean, he's a guy that's been preparing for this for a while, has understood it was going to be his time. But they did this survey of general managers, and they listed the best play callers in the NFL. And I don't know if you saw this, but they had Ben Johnson third behind McVay and Shanahan, with Andy Reid behind him. And I mean, it's just kind of like, wow, like he really has a great reputation as a play caller. I wonder if that's going to be hindered by the fact that they haven't got everything up and running, or if it is going to be aided by the fact that he's going to have a group of things he knows will work against Minnesota, and he knows that Caleb is comfortable running.
I think it's going to be a feeling out process to a degree for Ben for the first quarter, third of the season, and similarly for the players. Like, he's got to get I think it's going to look this way. I think the players are going to react this way, but you probably have to go out and see it. Why is he so highly ranked? Well, the Lions, I believe, tops in the NFL in scoring over the last 3 seasons. They were 5th in the league in rushing over the last 3 seasons.
Right.
Jared Goff went from, being a guy who had lost a lot of shine as a member of the Rams to being an elite quarterback again. Like they did everything at a high level in Detroit, and so I think that's how he captured people's imaginations. Plus, he's sort of the new flavor, but the consistency and the output is what really struck people there. As far as the Bears, it's going to be better, but we've got to see it. Like how does it come together? Preseason is not a really valid thing to look at and try to project what's going to happen in the regular season. Plus, it's so small, especially when you consider how much playing time the starters get. So I think there's a level of curiosity for everyone. People are going to be tuned in Monday night, people around the league and even people in the building at Hallis Hall.
So if we don't want to pay attention to what Ben Johnson says, or we don't know what the what should we look for, Brett?
Words.
What?
I said I didn't want to get. You twisted my words. Now I said I didn't want to get. I wasn't going to get all worked up about him saying, we can win with.
If we don't want to get worked up about what Ben Johnson says, okay, I won't twist your words, Brett. What do you want to get? What should we get worked up about? What are you excited about? What should Bears fans be worked up about as we anticipate Monday night? What is out there?
Why?
What are you most curious about, Brad? What do you want to see that you haven't seen?
I want to see the offensive line, and I want to see if it's as improved as everyone hopes it is. I want to see the Dennis Allen defense. Like, what does this look like? Super aggressive during points of training camp. Do they maintain that? Do they pick their spots with that? Is the pass rush better? I firmly believe they want to have a physical running game. Like, when's the last time you watched the Bears and you said, man, they are really physical running the football? Probably during some time with David Montgomery, but can they get after that? Can they achieve that? Because if they can do that and establish a tone, I think that's going to help with the development of the quarterback, which is going to be the biggest story of the season.
I think that one of the big things that Ben Johnson talked to us about, and I thought it was interesting, is the idea of the buy-in and how at the end of the season, you should be able to see how the buy-in worked and that things will work if you buy in. And we were talking the other day about Amon-Ra St. Brown and how he bought in and became a significantly better player than maybe his draft position at 4th-round pick would indicate. And the Bears have these highly drafted players on their roster, but you wonder about the buy-in. And he said yesterday that the only thing that keeps him up at night is how he's going to keep the horses fed and how is he going to get the ball to all these different players. How are they going to buy in? I mean, I think we saw a minor buy-in from the second-round pick. He blocked pretty well, and then he made some plays, and we know, you got to block to get the rock and all that stuff. Do you believe that we are going to see that sort of buy-in from particularly the wide receiving core?
Yeah, you certainly hope you do. And I thought that was interesting that he talked about, being kept up late at night, trying to come up with ways to get everyone involved on offense, which is a good problem for them to have with the talent they have at wide receiver. I mean, you referenced the second-round pick, Luther Burden, and you understand that he's probably fourth at that position group right now
Right.
because of what they got from OZ and the connection that the quarterback was quickly able to establish with a veteran who knows how to go into a new city, learn a new offense, and get to know new players. Like, it's his fourth team in 4 years, and he's got some explosive traits to him. I think he can really help them this season. Then you talk about the tight ends and the running backs, and you better be hoping they can hit that magic number of 70 plays run on offense more times than not, because they're going to need to run the play counts up to effectively distribute the ball all over the place. And the guys that do show the buy-in, he's referenced that multiple times. Those are the guys that are liable to be more involved than others. So, and it's not going to be great for everyone week to week probably, but there's going to be opportunities for guys to go out and make plays.
We got a minute left, Brad. How do your expectations for Caleb Williams for this season today compare to how they were a year ago before his first game?
Boy, that's a great question. Because you were so amped up a year ago to go out and see him, and I feel like there are elements of last year that were disappointing, right? That there were elements of it being a letdown. Now, not all that's on him, right? He was coaching the situation he was in and everything, but the final product at the end of the year, you were left wanting considerably more, right? So I think your expectations are still relatively high for him, but I wonder if they're slightly less, maybe, just because last year, that thing pretty much couldn't have gone worse for him, when the team as a whole, and he was able to stay healthy, and he did not turn the ball over. Those are the positives you can say about the rookie season for Caleb Williams. So that's going to be interesting. And Monday night's going to be particularly interesting because of the Brian Flores defense and everything that entails. I would urge people to not look at everything in a vacuum from in 1 or 2 week things, and we can react and not overreact, because it's going to be a long ride from now to the end of the season.
Great stuff, Brad. A lot of fun. I think everybody's getting pumped up, and we'll get to watch a lot of football before we see the Bears play.
Thanks, Brad.
Yeah. Have a great day, guys.